This episode of Dilemma Dudes was brought to you by Schnapple.
Oh, yeah. That's so
Does not
fake.
taste right. Welcome back to the Dilemma Dudes podcast.
In the morning, it is currently 6:30 p.m.
we're in a whole new location too.
Yeah.
It looks like a brand new podcast.
It is not. It is the same podcast.
It's still the same, but it gets better every time.
I hope so.
No, it's debatable. But,
I hope so.
I just ate an entire bag of fuzzy peaches. I had a frappuccino from Starbucks, and now I'm drinking Snapple. So I feel like I'm on the edge of something really good.
Of getting a brand deal.
No, on the edge of like sugar high.
I'm on the edge of glory.
I just wolfed down. I just mucked an entire Kit Kat, and now I'm almost on my Schnapple too. So
He ate it like a barbarian. That is to say, not snap. I'm just kidding. You did snap it.
yeah, I did snap it, man.
you
I'm not
got-
an animal like you.
you
Who bites it in the middle.
I only
absolute
did that.
animal.
I only did that to piss you off.
But here we are, back for
That-
another episode.
That should be one of our dilemmas.
Oh,
How
the
to
wrong
eat a
way
Kit
to
Kat.
eat food.
Yeah.
Mm.
If
Yeah.
you're sitting on the bus and you see someone bite a Kit Kat, like through the middle without snapping it at all,
Should you drop kick them in the
should
face?
you throat punch them instantaneously? And if you don't, what kind of person does that make you?
Oh, I think you're gonna say if you don't, should someone else throw punch you
That's
for
true.
not doing it?
Maybe.
Fair.
All
Oh,
right.
man.
Well,
We should probably let's just quickly introduce ourselves again.
yeah. So this is the Dilemma Dudes podcast, and my name is Noah.
My name is Devon.
My name is Keelan. And
We worked really hard on that intro, guys. So I hope you liked it.
I think
Yeah.
we scripted every single joke.
Every
It took us
single
weeks
one
to
of it.
like nail down the
Yeah.
timing.
we had
Yeah, it's
a
like-
a whole Zoom call just talking about how we needed an intro. That was you just got it right there. That was what we that's what we figured out.
I actually had to get a new keyboard because I was sweating so profusely trying to think of the
is
jokes
so
for the
gross.
for the jokes for the
Imagine
intro.
breaking a
that,
keyboard
I broke
because
my
you're
keyboard.
sweating.
It was just dripping off of my face. My mom got
Oh,
mad at
man.
me for bringing the keyboard into the shower, but it wasn't the shower. It was just my sweat from thinking of all the jokes.
Oh, gross.
Good lord.
Well, we are here at Labyrinth Gaming and Cafe.
Mhm.
Yes, we are. You were nice enough to let us record our podcast
Yeah.
here. This is really great.
Yeah.
It's great. We got a sick gaming table that we're
D&D
this on?
table specifically.
heck yeah.
Well,
We got a couple board games behind us. We got Kings of New York, Settlers of Catan.
If there's ever a weird cut in
Dead
this
Winter.
episode, it's because we stopped and played Settlers of Catan.
yeah, there's gonna be an 8-hour difference between one cut and the other.
Yeah.
or it's because we just sat here and rambled about Settlers of Catan too. That could
Is
be-
that your segue into being like, guys, we need to jump into
Yeah,
it? Okay,
yeah.
Good one.
We'll get into a
Let's
dilemma
get into
here.
it.
So we got some good dilemmas this time. We filmed the first two episodes a couple weeks ago now, so we have a general idea of what people are interested in, I guess.
We've gotten some pretty good reviews lately.
Yeah, we've gotten some good feedback. Our first two episodes are pretty heavy into like crime and stuff, but
Yeah, I know.
we don't want to necessarily talk about dilemmas that are actually pertinent to our life because we don't want to like come across like we're experts. But when we're talking about things that probably are never going to happen to us,
Yeah, this
It's
is
a
in
bit
no
easier.
way an advice podcast.
no.
But like, if you want to take it as an advice podcast, I'm also not against that
Just
either.
don't use our names in court.
Just don't use our names in court. Exactly.
But I have a couple good ones here.
Sweet.
You know what? Let's just start with this one here. It's called The Trapped Mining Crew.
Uh-oh.
I can't remember all the ones I put on this doc, so I'm going to remember them alongside you as I read them.
Cool.
So, Heather is part of a 4-person mining expedition. There is a cave in and 4 of them are trapped in the mine. A rock has crushed the legs of one of her crew members, and he will die without medical attention. She's established radio contact with the rescue team and learned it will be 36 hours before the first drill can reach the space she is trapped in. She is able to calculate that this space has just enough oxygen for 3 people to survive for 36 hours, but definitely not enough for 4 people. The only way to save the other crew members is to refuse medical aid to the injured crew member so that there will be just enough oxygen for the rest of the crew to survive. Should Heather allow the injured crew member to die in order to save the lives of the remaining crew members? That's it. Sorry.
So
I made it sound like it was another
So
option.
wait, so sorry. So if she allows him to live, there's not enough oxygen and they all die?
There's a possibility because they only have enough oxygen for three people for 36 hours.
36 hours.
So if they happen to get people to save them before that 36 hours.
But they said their soonest drill would be 36 hours,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Sorry, it's a little bit of a no-brainer. For me, it's
It kind of is a no.
Sorry,
It is a
Paul.
little
Like you're out of here. I'm sorry, man. He's got a boulder crushing him from like the rib cage down. Like
I think the suckiest part though is that like because it's under his legs, like he probably wouldn't actually die from that, but in the situation that they're in,
Well, I think
he's gonna
maybe
die.
if you think about it, like the medical help would be them pulling him out from underneath it, which would maybe rip off his legs.
Yeah.
So he'd die from like
and they would
bleeding
waste
out
a
and-
lot of oxygen.
I'd say we'd assume that if the medical help was to get to him, he would survive. But there is a possibility, a pretty major one, that if we don't off Paul, we're all gonna die.
Yeah, yeah.
And that would be a horrible way to die, just running out of oxygen.
Yeah.
It's that would be. I mean,
Isn't it also at the same time though when you die like that, it can be like you don't even realize it, you just slowly.
Well, you slowly get
Sometimes. It's
short of breath.
short of
and-
breath, and because the oxygen in your lungs goes to your most valuable parts, which being your brain and your heart.
Okay, but
So those two things go last.
Yeah.
Like
here's-
people who have gotten into accidents and have been like, had their lung crushed or something. Usually they have brain damage
Right.
because lack of oxygen to the brain.
Right. Yeah.
So it's
So the real
Dang,
question
man.
is though, is if we got to deal with Paul, how are we doing this?
I know. Is this like, are we
Like,
just
are
gonna
we
let him
just-
slowly die there?
just like
under the
Are we just
rock?
gonna
accidentally
let him
tipping the
die
boulder
there?
all the
Are we
way
just gonna
over?
push the boulder a little bit? Someone grab a rock or a pickaxe? Like what's happening?
I think that did it say that we are letting him die
Or are we
that
finishing him
kill him? That's
Or we finishing him
the,
off?
in the
It doesn't really
thing.
say, but that's an interesting.
What is
thing
the
too.
wording on it?
It says, and he will die without medical attention. That's basically what it says. So you're either refusing medical aid to the injured guy.
Right, that's how he's
But
going
here's the thing though, is it does specifically say that we have just enough air if one guy
for
dies.
three people.
So, but here's the thing: if he hangs on for 4 more hours, like we're not gonna have enough air. We're still not gonna have enough air.
Exactly.
So we gotta get rid of him
Yeah.
now, guys.
Oh man.
What do you do to get rid of him?
Honestly,
like-
just close your eyes and big rock.
I was saying,
Just drop it.
The nice thing to do would be to kill him.
So now you're stuck in this hole in the ground with a like blown up skull beside you. You're just gonna be sitting there with your buddies. At least it's really dark too.
Well,
though.
also, another question would be: is what is our work relationship?
Yeah, really.
What kind of relationship do we have with Paul?
Is
here?
Paul the guy that everyone goes, yeah, well, yeah.
Is Paul like that guy who comes in, is like fist bumping everyone? He brings donuts every Thursday, or is he one of those guys where it's like, okay, and Noah, Paul's on your team, and you're like, oh god, why Paul? I think this really makes
Paul.
a difference. 'Cause he's
Also,
the donut guy. Like, I think Jeremy's getting
the
out
thought
of there
that crossed
instead.
into my brain when it was like, what's the girl's name, Heather?
Yeah, Heather. Yeah.
When it's like Heather has calculated that we have thus many hours of oxygen left if we. I'm like,
Heather's
how
intense.
smart is this
Yeah.
person?
Yeah, I know, right?
Like if they're that smart, I'm sure they can figure a way out.
Like this
Yeah.
person's just sitting in a dark cave, and she goes,
Doing
by
math.
the width, length, and depth of this cave,
Exactly.
and by the general air
She's
density
figured
of
out-
the
she's
location
figured
of the
out
planet
the
we're on.
cubic square
We know how many
footage of
cubic
how much
feet
air
of
is in
oxygen we
this.
have, and we know the average amount of oxygen a person in distress consumes.
Oh man. So I guess we're killing.
I
what's his-
think
We're
Ken.
We're
I
killing
like how we're
Paul.
like we're
Paul.
gonna try and stay away from crime and stuff in this one. Oh, we're killing someone. Great.
Nah.
This
Oh,
isn't crime. This is survival.
I think yeah.
It's like the question, like if you're in a plane crash, would you eat a dead survivor?
it's also like this isn't. It wouldn't be technically murder because he's already dying. You just
Yeah.
let him die.
I
Yeah.
don't know. I think we got to finish him off early because, like, again, it says we barely have enough oxygen to begin with.
I guess so.
I think I would just be like, sorry man, we don't have the medical attention.
We'll make this fast
We'll make
for
this
you.
fast for you.
Bam.
I think you would have even more oxygen at that point because it's saying that we just refuse medical attention and he slowly dies.
Mm-hmm.
We still have
We'd
enough
be
oxygen.
comfortable.
Yeah.
We'd have a
You're
comfortable
saving,
amount of oxygen.
What, an hour of oxygen by just offing him right then and there?
Yeah, we'd have a comfortable amount of oxygen. If anything, we could start working out and we'd be fine.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
Oh,
well, I
jeez.
guess that's simple.
That's terrible.
The next one is kind of interesting.
Just so everyone knows,
This one's
Noah
is-
picked these ones.
This one's different than I think anything we've done so far. So it's called deliberate infection. Sorry. Ken is a doctor, and one of his patients, who he has diagnosed as HIV positive, is about to receive a blood transfusion prior to being released from the hospital. He has told Ken, in the confidence of their doctor-patient relationship, that after he gets his transfusion and his medicine from Ken, he intends to infect as many people as possible with HIV starting that evening. Because
Oh my gosh.
because Ken is bound by doctor-patient confidentiality, there is no legal way to stop this man from carrying out his plan. Even if Ken warned the police, they would not be able to arrest him since his medical information is protected. It occurs to Ken that he could contaminate his medication by putting an untraceable poison in it that will kill him before he gets a chance to infect others. Should Ken poison this man in order to prevent him from spreading HIV?
Oh my god! Where did you find this one?
Where did you find that?
This is the one that you
just
wrote?
No. Yeah, here's the thing. In one of these episodes, I wrote one of them, but I'm not going to say which one.
No, I feel like we'll know.
You probably, yeah, maybe.
All
It's
right.
this
All right. So it really boils down
insane.
to it really boils down to how serious is this guy?
Well, he
I think
sounds
the
pretty
thing is
intense.
He sounds
dead
pretty
seri-
intense,
dead
right?
serious.
It's just his life goal to infect as many people with HIV or something.
Did he
So-
get it on purpose?
I don't know. He must
No,
have.
I think he must be just jaded as heck.
Yeah.
Like HIV is something that, like, you can't really get on purpose unless
Yeah.
you know the other person has it, right? And you purposely infect
Well, I know there's like
yourself with
crazy
it.
subreddits out there, so like who
I'm
knows?
sure. But like, whoever gave it to him, he's definitely gunning for them first.
Yeah.
If they're not already dead.
Well, they got, yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it reminds me of just like, I always think of like therapists that could hear like crazy stuff from their patients. Being
Yeah.
like, oh, I've thought
So-
about doing this. And then they just can't say anything.
Yeah, they can't say anything. The only thing they can do is
I think if you're a genuine danger to society,
to
they're allowed
yourself,
To yourself, okay.
or I think it's to yourself or the doctor or something like that. Because like, I don't know. That's crazy.
Well,
I would
isn't,
not want to
isn't
be.
there a thing
Mhm.
like a therapist is allowed to say something if you say you're going to commit a crime? Like if you're like, oh, I'm going to go stab this person, I'm pretty sure the doctor's allowed to say something, allowed to do something.
Not until you do it, and then they
Yeah.
can go, I know who did this.
Yeah, it's pretty intense.
Like they can only urge the patient not to do it. They can only just be like, hey, that's not a great idea.
I don't.
Hey, guys.
I don't know if I would go as far to like poison his medication, but like,
That's your option, buddy.
but
Yeah.
like maybe try to.
I'd maybe see if like I can trick like, oh, so and so's here to see you. What were you talking about again? Like trick someone else into hearing it that could say something.
Yeah.
That's wow.
I try
I
to
don't
put him
know
like in
what I
an
would do.
institution or something. Like try to like get him help, and make it so he's away from people. Like as a doctor, aren't you allowed to like say, hey, this person's mentally unstable, they need like help, and you can like. I don't. Asylum's not the right word for it, but that's kind of where my mind's going here.
Like, yeah, I don't know. That's a really hard one.
Mm-hmm. I think we can't try and deliberate over the law. We just have to decide what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Like our two options here are we have to poison him or he's going to
The
go
thing
infect
Well, he
is-
already
people.
seems like a.
I mean, this may sound like a dumb question. Is there a cure for HIV?
Well, I think in this scenario, it doesn't sound like. I don't actually know. See, these are things I don't want to try and sound like an expert on
I was
this.
like, if there is, then I'd be like, okay, we have a cure. If not, then I would. I don't know if I'd like kill him, but I would maybe like put something in that would like
Make him like really sleepy for a few
yeah,
days.
or like incapacitate him in some way that would
Yeah.
like mess him up so that he can't.
so he like
so,
doesn't.
so
he
instead
can't
of giving him
function.
his medication, we're just giving him roofies.
Yeah.
We're gonna take him out to a cabin
Take 3
and
of
lock
these
him in there.
each day.
I don't. Yeah, like I don't. It would be so hard as a doctor.
I don't know. I don't
It's
think I'd
already
have the
hard
self
enough
control.
as a doctor anyway.
I don't think I'd have the self control to not say anything. I think I'd either say something
Yeah.
or
The sad thing is, if you said something, there goes your license.
Yeah.
Even if
Just
it's
like
something,
that.
like, even if you can fight it with evidence, you're blacklisted
Mm-hmm.
because you've signed that do no harm and also patient doctor confidentiality.
Yeah. It's insane.
well, I think that guy's getting poisoned.
Yeah, like that's the.
I think that guy's getting poisoned.
Oh,
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
crazy.
if it's an
Well, also, how
untraceable poison,
Did it say untraceable?
yeah, it's untraceable. It'll never come back. It'll never come back to you. Like they'll never be able to find
Yeah,
out.
definitely.
Real question is, how many deaths have I, as a doctor, had on my hands?
Well, that's the job. So like,
Yeah, I know, but like, what's my reliability here as a medical professional?
depends on what type of doctor you are.
Yeah.
Well, let's assume if it's you, it's probably really bad. So,
So then
think-
what's one more?
yeah,
No, I think I'd poison him.
Yeah, I think.
that's probably the right thing to do. But could I end up doing it? I don't know.
It would be like, in my head, it's like the same thing as like shooting somebody who's gonna go blow up a school.
Yeah.
Right.
It's the same idea. Not obviously.
It's the whole like one life over many,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
which is I feel like a lot of these questions are always like, take the killers or not.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well. Okay. Yeah. I guess the definitely the moral thing to do would probably be to poison him, because
Or
comparing the amount of people that he will probably end up killing compared to just killing him.
But also
I'd hire an assassin to kill him.
But the other thing is it's one of those things where it's like he hasn't technically done anything yet.
No.
Yeah.
Like, what if he was to go home and then change his mind?
He was just like going through an insanity fit or something. Like
Yeah,
that.
and what if he was to go home and be like, oh my goodness, I said some crazy things to that doctor, and then next thing you know, he dies because we gave him freaking laced medication.
Again, though, in this scenario, he's gonna kill the people.
I think it's pretty certain.
So yeah. All right. Well, we got another one here.
Poison.
We're gonna poison this poor guy.
Yeah, we're gonna poison him.
Because that's just as good of a. If we're talking doctor integrity here, that's killing a patient. That's not gonna get you blacklisted.
But
I
it's
mean, they're never gonna
untraceable.
find
It's
out.
untraceable. They'll never
yeah.
find out. They'll never find out.
So this is another one here. So imagine that a powerful alien were to visit Earth with the ability to eradicate war, famine, and suffering. The alien says that he will do this and turn the world into a utopia where humans will be happy and peaceful forevermore. But only if a price is paid. He demands a small child be given to him so that he can perform hideous scientific experiments on it, causing the child unimaginable pain. Should you hand over the child?
Yeah, give him the child.
It's not my kid.
Oh man.
Okay, first off, I know this one was written by you because you went on a whole alien rant last
We're
night.
canceled.
You went on a whole alien rant.
I'm not gonna
last
tell you which
night.
one I
I'm
wrote.
like 90% sure this one's
I'm not going
yours.
to tell you which
Your
one I
eyes
wrote.
lit up when you read it. You did that little, I got him.
Yeah, let's go back to this alien thing because we watched this Unsolved Mysteries on
is this
aliens.
where this kind of came from?
Yeah, and then last night we were out driving around doing like there was a full moon.
Did you see an alien?
No, but
Yeah.
I wanted to the whole time. We were like driving down these back roads. We like pulled over just on a random spot in a back road. We're just like taking pictures in the middle of like a field.
The moon had like a weird like hazy ring around it.
Yeah.
Totally looked like
So I'm
a
like, if
UFO.
we're gonna see an alien, like this is the time right now. And we didn't, but I was counting on it.
Coming up to the new year.
Yeah.
Full moon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which is, was it it was, you guys had someone else with you. It was three
Yeah,
guys
there
out
was-
in the middle of nowhere. Just the cameras. Cell phone's probably died, right?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
No, I
100%.
kept forgetting it in the car every time we got out. So yeah, we would have just had our cameras. We could have snapped some pics, but I said they probably would have just destroyed our cameras because they don't want.
We would have we would have pulled like the memory cards out of it, and they would have been melted and
Yeah.
like sparking.
Well, there goes our whole podcast. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
So this one's kind of interesting because you can either just. I mean, you guys seem like you're pretty sure what you would do.
I mean, it's the whole.
It's literally
world.
the whole world
for a
versus
child.
one child.
Okay, so
Also, this also may sound terrible. I would use child that's set up for adoption.
oh,
So there's no connection.
Oh my goodness, Keelan!
I'll use a child that doesn't deserve love. That's what.
Oh my god!
How old does it say? How old the child is?
I'm thinking like the worst age.
Probably
you
just
could
like
think
you
of,
had
like
like a
9 years old.
just an innocent like 6-year-old or something.
Oh, because I was thinking like baby.
Yeah,
No, old enough to know what's going on.
Okay, that's messed up.
it is messed up.
But here's the thing: is how many
Is it-
kids
wait,
right
is it-
now are suffering in other places of the world? So you could save countless, not only people but other children, and you're sacrificing one.
Yeah, you find a kid that's willing. Like, hey, buddy,
So the trolley problem is 5 people or 1 person.
This is the entire world with
7
one person.
billion people or 1
Does
baby.
13-year-old count?
but who would want to live on a? This is another
No,
interesting
they
take,
are the
though.
aliens.
Like, a world where humans will be happy and peaceful forevermore. Like, I don't know. It sounds too good to be true at the same time.
So you think the aliens will betray us?
Yeah, the aliens are going to betray
Yeah,
us.
what
is
if
what's
it's
gonna
what if
happen.
it's what if it's one of those things where it's like the aliens like, I'll give you peace forever, but their version of peace is just death. Like
Yeah.
they're just gonna nuke us. It's like, this is our version of peace.
Here's our piece. This is a gun.
peaceful and happy forever?
It's like they come down, they're like, I'll give you freedom, the freedom from this life. Bam.
Okay, well, I think sure that it does make sense. You'd probably hand over the child, even though it's horrible. Okay, but here's a follow-up question.
Wait, hold on.
I say I would
Wait,
only hand
really-
over a child if one the parents were like the willing, like
Or they're
willing
adopted,
volunteer.
like you said. They're unloved.
I
So
feel bad for saying that.
But wait, really
'cause
question is, what do
Devon's
these
obviously
aliens
adopted,
look
so-
like?
Mhm.
What do these aliens look like?
whatever you want, buddy.
Aliens?
Okay, because like if there's some like world of the like War on the Worlds or whatever it's called, aliens where they're like horrific monsters, I don't know if I could do that. But if they're like
you but green.
If they're like Mass Effect aliens where they're just like, yeah, literally just like sexy ladies with blue, like
Devon
I'd
is
probably
like,
just go
I
for
will
it.
give you a child.
Okay, well, here's a follow-up question. What if the alien demands that you must inflict the torture on the child yourself?
Absolutely not.
it's the whole
This
world,
is really
man.
I
dragging
can't
you
do
into it.
that.
It's the whole world,
The
man.
first time I'd ever punched someone was on stage, and I punched Devon, and it was fake.
Like torturing a child. Ugh.
And
But, like,
I
it's
was
the
the one that
whole
was
world
more
here,
hurt
man.
afterwards.
Yeah.
I felt so bad, and Devon was like, "It's fine."
But like, guys, it's the whole world. Like, it's the entire planet.
Mm-hmm. I'll bring you a kid. Let's get started.
Are you the alien?
I was asking you this question because last night I did get abducted.
Oh,
real quick.
okay.
Oh,
And this is what they said to me.
Okay.
They said if you could find someone to torture the kid. So I
because
found someone.
they
All
were
right, let's get going.
We feel bad about doing it, so if one of you wants,
If one of you wants to do it, so you're volunteering yourself.
Yeah, let's
then-
get crack-a-locking.
I don't
So
think I
everyone,
can do that.
Devon
I'll go
has
get a
just
rusty
said
spoon.
he's gonna.
Oh my goodness!
Woo!
Wow.
Oh wow!
So Devon has just said he's gonna torture a child.
If it's to save the entire planet.
This was successful. I just exposed you.
Yeah, apparently it did. Sorry, I want to help literally the entire world.
Oh man, I don't.
It's
think
like,
I
this
can
is
do
literally the trolley problem, but instead of 5 people on the tracks and 1 kid, it's 1 kid and how many people are on the planet? Freaking like
It's
7
over 7
billion
billion.
people.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And you're gonna torture him, or it.
I'll run over him slowly with a trolley.
You're gonna torture them however the alien wants you to. Well, you know what? I guess mathematically it's the right thing to do. I don't think I would do it.
Okay, let's be honest here. Realistically, would I be physically and like emotionally able to do it? No, probably not.
No.
But I would, if I could force myself to do it, I probably would, to save the entire planet. Like, think about all the lives that would be saved. The fact that no one would ever go hungry again. Everywhere would have drinking water. Everyone would have enough money to support themselves financially. No one would be homeless. Nobody would be wanting food. Like, literally, it's the best possible outcome ever.
Yeah.
Except
Well,
for that 1 kid.
That's
Yeah,
right,
that one poor kid.
Because I'm sitting here going, then what is the difference between letting them torture the child and you torturing the child?
Yeah.
Like, if you let them torture a child, you have tortured, like, you know what I mean? Like,
It's
you have let
ignorance.
them-
It's your
yeah.
own ignorance. It's just making yourself feel better.
I guess it's the, like, didn't see it, didn't touch it, but I let you do it. kind of thing,
Yeah.
like-
Yeah, instead of you going out and shooting Paul, you handed the gun to somebody else and went, go shoot Paul.
Right.
You still killed him.
Yeah.
Poor
Jeez.
Paul.
If you
Is the
wrote
kid's
this
named
one-
Paul too?
Yeah, it's Paul's kid.
If this was the
It's
one
a
you
miner's
wrote,
kid.
I don't know if we could be friends.
What'd you say?
I'd be
Because
proud
none
of that
our
one if I wrote
answers
it.
Are so messed up that whoever wrote this is messed
Yeah,
up.
whoever wrote this is a piece of garbage.
All right, let's do another one. Okay. So you've been a member of a large criminal organization. Sorry, we're getting into crime again. It's just
fine.
too much fun. For a long time. However, more recently, the organization has been getting into some hot water and under a close, watchful eye of the police. The police know you are involved and offer you a deal to not have to serve time in jail if you provide them vital information they are looking for. However, doing so would screw over many of the other members, and you know that being a rat can put you as well as your family in great danger, ultimately risking death. So, do you turn yourself into the police, providing them the information they are looking for, but risking you and your family's life? Or do you stay quiet and continue working for this horrible criminal enterprise, keeping your family safe, but resulting in a possible lifetime sentence in jail?
Well, isn't there a witness protection program for a reason?
Yeah, but not when it's. Let's just imagine
wouldn't-
it's like in some South American country where like even that wouldn't
Right.
save you.
I guess it depends on how fast the police take action.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like, if you're like, hey, so and so did this, and they're like, okay, cool, we'll get to it. So and so could come up and shoot you. But if you were like, you know, Devon killed a child, and the police came right away and busted him, you wouldn't be in any danger.
Yeah. Well, let's just
Supposedly.
assume that if you ratted like someone you or someone you love is going to get killed.
Right.
Well, it's not a guarantee, but it's a huge possibility.
Yeah.
In my head, I keep imagining. What was the documentary we watched?
Like about Pablo Escobar.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm imagining that where it's
Mhm.
like, we get into the car, going to go to Sunday, service, and all of a sudden the car just blows up.
Exactly.
Right.
Goodbye, everybody. I was gonna say little Timmy, and then I decided against it, and then it came out again.
It just confirmed the fact that Devon would torture a child.
But either way, it's just like you're either lifetime in jail or like possible death to someone you love.
I don't know, just like my own personal moral code, I would probably say I'd turn him in.
Mm-hmm.
Just because, like, I don't think I could. I don't think I would be in a life of crime to begin with. But
Yeah.
if I somehow managed to find my way there, I think I'd want to the wanting to not only be there for my family if I manage to survive, but also screwing over the horrible things these guys are doing would outweigh the possibility of survival.
I probably think I would go to jail.
Yeah.
But in doing so, I'd like combine the two. I'd go to jail because you're part of this gang, so yeah.
Yeah, you're serving your time.
But while there, I probably would rat him out.
But you just get shanked in jail.
But just me.
Yeah, that's true.
What would it be, just you?
I mean, chances are, yeah.
Cause like, there's these, we're talking about Pablo and all that, they're, these guys, they just go up to the prison phone, go beep, beep, beep. Hey, Pedro, go to 5559 Olive Street. Boom, shakalaka, everyone's dead.
Yeah. But I think the chances of if I went to jail and ratted someone out, the chances of me getting killed first are higher than me ratting someone out and them, holding my family hostage. Like, so the police don't.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
No, it's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a hard one. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure what I would do.
How about
Yeah.
even given a.
I think I would. Oh. I'll tell you I wrote this one.
Obviously.
Because when I watch these shows, I'm like, I do not know what the heck I would do.
Right.
Like if I happen to get or like sometimes there's like the accountants where it's like they've never done anything violent themselves, but they've knowingly been part of it.
Yeah.
And eventually and they know a lot of information. So eventually they're getting asked to whatever. Yeah. 'Cause it's like, I guess doing the right thing would be to turn yourself in.
Yeah. The right thing in our lives, but if you were in a gang,
Mm-hmm. And let's say it was like some of your
the right thing would be to stay silent.
Yeah, or some of your like say it was you would rat out some of your like friends too that were in the
Yeah.
gang too. It's like by doing that, you're screwing over all your friends.
Well, it also depends on what your family is. Like, we're assuming it's a full-fledged family. What if it's just you and the dog?
Well,
like-
yeah, if you know it's only gonna
Absolutely not.
like if I knew it was only gonna risk my life, and I'm like, okay, well, I got myself in this. This was something that I knew when I got myself into this.
Yeah.
But then you're talking about your family and loved ones, because a lot of the time, like these gangs too will be like, oh, I know you don't care if you die, so I'm gonna go get your family because that'll make you feel something.
Yeah.
You know,
Ugh.
it's garbage.
Yo,
But
the
I
moral
think
of
the
the story
morally
is gangs are just bad.
the morally right
That's the
thing to
moral of this
do.
whole podcast.
Yeah. Like some people might get offended by us talking about crime this much, but I try to expose myself to it only because it makes me be like, God, I want nothing to do with this.
Well, that's
this
the thing.
is
Like,
horrible.
a lot of these moral dilemmas have things to do with crime because that's the closest to real life that these things will get.
Well, and crime's not always like super black and white either,
No.
right? Like,
No.
you can't just blatantly say all crime is 100% evil. Like, you even just look at like popular media. I'm dying over here. Like someone, like, you know, someone's
did you rat
starving.
someone out, Devin?
What?
Did you rat someone out?
You got poisoned
We
in
poisoned you.
your schnapple.
I start foaming at the mouth. But no, like, what's the musical where the guy steals bread to stop himself from starving?
The very popular musical Les Miserables.
Yes, exactly.
What's that classic?
But like, it's one of the, like, do you think he's a horrible person because he stole bread to stop himself from starving?
But the only reason you don't think he's a horrible person is because he's the main character of the show.
But at the same time, it's like, it's because the system's against him, right? It's like, you know, everyone has, at least in modern society, has the right to food, the right to water.
Yeah.
Right? And they didn't give that to him, so he had to resort to crime to stay literally alive.
Well,
It's
and
the same thing with,
that's what happens with these gangs in like these like South American countries where like conditions are just horrible there. They literally, like, crime is like an industry.
Yeah.
Like if you're like, oh, I want to be successful, I
literally,
gotta
like, Pablo
be
Escobar,
a criminal.
he built his own prison.
Yeah.
Or
And
like,
then-
it's not even
Like
like,
people wanted to work for him because it was like the thing to do.
Yeah.
well, and it's not even like, oh, I want to be successful. Some of these people, like, they're born into it. Right? Oh, your dad was such and such a drug lord, and now you're taking over the enterprise. Like, you don't have a choice. You're doing it.
Not even that you don't have a choice. You don't even think about it.
Yeah, you were raised that way.
Yeah.
Right?
Now we're talking like with that we're talking like huge like crime family, like mafia
Yeah.
crime family. If we're talking just like gangs, like small gang, like I'm sure there's a gang in Barrie.
Yeah,
Wherever.
probably.
Yeah, crackheads.
Hey guys, if you guys are watching, like that, in that sense, that is a choice you made by your circumstance.
Mm.
But if it is like a huge crime family, like they're a family. You are born into it. You're
gonna
raised
rat
up
out your
doing
family.
it. Yeah, right. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know.
it's
That's a tough one. I think I
Good
think,
question. Huh? I think this is the only one we haven't been able to give an answer
Well,
on.
here's the thing. I think I would, if I was in that situation, and I was in the gang, not having second thoughts about being in the gang, I think I'd probably go to jail.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing.
You would just
honestly.
stay quiet and wait. You know that inevitably it's gonna all get
Inevitably,
shut down.
they're gonna.
But you
get
know
shut
that
down,
in that
but-
process though, like they're probably gonna commit more violent acts before that happens. Because as like they start to get
But my family's okay.
yeah, but your family's okay. But you know other
Yeah.
people are gonna die.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I would actually
I don't know what I would do.
turn my like rat them out.
Yeah.
And just pray to the Lord, baby.
You make sure your
Jesus.
family is all dead.
Yeah.
Then you rat them out.
Honestly, yeah, I think I'd just like with my drug money, I would just be like, hey guys, fly to France. I'll stay here and I'll rat them out.
Yeah. I think what I would ultimately do would never get myself in the situation. that would be
here's-
my
here's
first
another-
moral code.
Here's another idea. If you went to the police and made them promise that your family was safe first,
Mm-hmm.
then I might rat them out. I'll say,
Yeah.
I'll give you this information, but make sure my family
Yeah,
is
at all costs. Like
hidden
fly them
away.
to another country, please.
another country,
Yeah.
lock them in an underground bunker, do what you got to do to keep them safe, and then I'll give you the information.
Yeah, I'll die, but
Because then I might die, but my
Mhm.
dog is fine.
we're all ultimately saying that we're willing to die or go to jail.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
We're all
Do you
willing
hear
to
that,
pay
our
the
families?
penalty.
Do you,
Yeah.
do you hear that?
Yeah.
We will
Do you love
die
us yet?
for you.
I don't have to do anything else for you because I would die for you.
I would die for you.
The dishes, not doing it. Okay?
I don't have to clean my room because I would die for you.
Even though this is completely your fault that you're in this situation.
I would die for you.
Exactly.
If I joined a gang and was about to get arrested, I would die
Yeah.
first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's two ways, like jail or having your family murdered potentially.
Mhm.
Well, does it say killed or does it just say hurt?
It's
Let's
like
be
you're
honest.
putting
It's
your
death.
family in great danger, ultimately risking death is what. Like,
Oh,
I
okay,
wrote
cool.
it
Yeah,
as.
Is what you wrote.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
But you're the
Yeah.
author, so you could change it at any point.
Mhm. I'd say that. Like I said at the start, I said I think you or someone you love is gonna die.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Doesn't say who, but someone you're close to will probably.
Yikes. Okay.
Yeah.
What if they choose like your best friend from elementary school that you haven't talked to in
Yeah, you like
15
trick
years?
them. You're like, oh god, I've been so close to this one guy.
And you absolutely hate the person.
And then
Yeah.
and then they cause a cave in and he gets half crushed. And then the other
And they
miners
have
have
exactly
Mhm.
100 cubic feet of air.
Yeah.
With exactly 36 hours to live.
Yeah.
and he forces his coworkers to put him out of his misery.
And then he gets HIV during this, and he ends up at the hospital, and he says, "Well, before I die, without legs, I'm going to infect all these people with HIV."
And then he infects them, and they turn into aliens.
Mm.
Who then
come to
demand
Earth, who
a
then
child
demands a
sacrifice.
Yeah.
sacrifice.
So we planned that. These all tied together.
They all tied together.
I feel we've ended episode with every episode with what we learned. So
Yeah.
yeah, we learned that we would die.
We would die for
We
our
would face our
families,
consequences.
But when it came to us, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would die for our families. We'd put Paul out of his misery.
Yeah.
We would sacrifice a child.
You would sacrifice a child.
We would sacrifice a child. And what was the other one? We would lace a dude's pills
Yeah.
Mhm.
if he was gonna spread nasty things.
So we would kill a lot of people. Basically.
Yeah, we're committing a lot of death.
we've said we'd kill a lot of people today.
Yeah, I think we're the bad guys.
I probably wouldn't turn
Guys,
the
should we start again?
alien. Yeah, should we start again?
As we sit here on a D&D table.
Well,
right.
there we go. That's probably good for some good ones for this episode.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Now, we did put out this Google Forms, what you'll see linked to wherever you're watching this episode. So if you want to submit an idea, like I submitted one to ourselves, if you want to write one that will really stump us, you can submit it there. And if you submit it, and as long as it's not completely crazy, we'll probably talk about every single one that gets submitted to us. So
Yeah.
unless it's really, really raunchy or
I
something.
mean, if it's something that is actually serious, like tell us that you don't want your name on it. Or
yeah,
like,
it's all
we'll do this
anonymous anyways. It's a anonymous form. Like when you
Yeah.
put it in, you don't have to give your name.
Yeah.
I don't see who sent it.
Yeah.
You can't.
And follow us on Instagram at Dilemma Dudes.
Dilemma
as well
Dudes
as,
Pod.
Sorry?
It's at Dilemma Dudes Pod.
It's at Dilemma Dudes Pod.
Yeah. We're
And also Yikes Comedy's Instagram as well.
yeah.
Mhm.
And
Just Yikes Comedy.
I'm Boy Wonder _3 on Instagram. You can find me there if you ever want to. I don't know.
Stop
Tell me how terrible I am for wanting to kill people.
Oh no, you said you would give up an adopted child, is what you said.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
the
If you ever
terrible
want to
thing.
see
That's the thing that's gonna get you canceled.
Oh no.
Devin's
This
Devin's
channel
like
has
at the
gotten me
point.
so many followers.
He's at the point now where he could say anything. Like he always has the worst things about every scenario.
What do you mean? I'm picking the
No, it's
needs
a good.
of the
It's a good strategy.
I'm picking the needs of the many over the health of the few.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm
Sure.
wanting everyone to live minus one small child
Yeah.
instead of a bunch of small children in Africa.
Right.
If you want to see pictures of aliens, because I talk to them all the time, you can follow me on Instagram, NovidXD. And
My Instagram's n_Hollinshead, and you can see cool stuff there.
yeah.
Yeah. These two guys have been
Sometimes.
posting some pretty sweet photography.
Yeah, there's
lately.
pictures of
Yeah,
of
we
his,
saw the
alien
UFOs,
girlfriend.
like you said. Yeah, the UFOs last night. So
Yeah.
if you want to see crazy UFO content,
Crazy UFO
oh
content.
man, it's crazy,
It
guys. You don't
stands for-
understand.
Ultra fun. Turns into a Gregorian chant.
Ultra fun. Oh,
Oh.
we got you. Well, thank you
All
for
right.
listening. Follow us and subscribe and like
Subscribe,
this.
follow.
Click that subscribe button, punch that thumbs up, and make sure your notifications are on.
Subscribe. Oh wait, subscribe right here. Okay,
Somewhere here.
subscribe right there, right there. All right.
It's like, absolutely.
It makes me want to headbutt the table.
Peace out, everyone.
See you guys.